Peace, y'all. Peace. Campaign show, daytime edition, Thursday, May 1st. Joe Rogan interview, Hal Puthoff. Hal Puthoff. For those that don't know, Hal Puthoff is like the godfather of the psychic spy program of the United States government. Hal Puthoff. Um, the whole UFO, UAP, alien life on Mars, so sci-fi phenomenon that's being disclosed now, and so many whistleblowers and so much stuff on um, History Channel or the Pentagon or all over social media about the whistleblowers and the government and the Pentagon and Harvard University and all of these so-called authority scholars that's coming out saying that the UFO, UAP, alien phenomenon is real. Well, this man right here, Hal Puthoff, is basically the godfather of that whole program. And now he's on Joe Rogan. And I have a link to this interview in the description because I definitely want all of us to check it out. The Joe Rogan podcast, episode 2314, interviewing, as you see right here, Hal Puthoff. And I wanted to go into that and how that relates to what I've been, on here talking about for months now about the power of the human being, the God power of the human being, the God power of you, not God in space, spook, mystery, ghost, spirit, form, or whatever. No, the God in you, the fact that you, the human being, are a God. The powers of God are accessible to you and are your natural powers. That is the natural powers of the human being. So this science that they have, that he has become known for being the pioneer of, what they call psychic spies, or it's a remote viewing, is the science that they call it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad has taught on this since the 1930s, and he calls it the the ability to tune up, on you, to tune in. Like, people say tune in. I'm tuned on. I can psychically tune in to your thinking and hear what you're thinking and see what you're doing. But he called it tuning up. And he got this science and this teaching from his teacher and Master W.D. Fard Muhammad, who we in the Nation of Islam identify and recognize and been teaching is Allah, God in person. Not a spook, not a spirit, not a ghost, not a mystery, but the human being, a human man with the powers of control and manipulation and mastery over the forces of creation, forces of nature, forces of universe, internally and externally. So this is something I want us to all watch. When you get a minute, when you get time, go to Joe Rogan's today's podcast, which is number 2314, and watch this Hal Puthoff interview, because Hal Puthoff, which is clearly a Caucasian gentleman, and the last name Puthoff, sounds to me like Hasselhoff or Emhoff, like Doug Emhoff. So it's pretty likely that he might be from the Ashkenazi, German Ashkenazi background, small cap background. Not that that matters or nothing like that, but one of his top pioneer star remote viewers was a man by the name of Ingo Swann. Ingo, I-N-G-O, Swann with two N's, Ingo Swann. And Ingo Swann was a white man and a member of the LGBTQ community before they called it that. So you know what I mean. He was a rainbow, lifestyle. So this shows and proves that this ability of the human being was not restricted or on condition that you had to be righteous or you had to be this race or that race or you had to believe in God or follow these moral laws. No, this is the natural power and ability of every human being on earth. It's just that we don't know it. We don't know it, or we have generally been deceived or poisoned, whether physically or mentally, against it. We either been poisoned physically, with certain foods and drinks and substances. It could be heavy metals and aluminums and leads or mercuries or whatever that might damage that part of the brain that has this natural power or whatever, or it could be from teachings, mental or spiritual or religious teachings, which tells the people or whatever that's impossible. If you can believe something is impossible, if somebody can make you believe something is impossible, then you're going to make it be impossible to you. Or it could be a combination of both. It can be a combination of both poison, something that's poisoning your brain or your pineal gland, and poisonous teachings, which makes you think that the God power is impossible for a human being. So this is the people that have been ruling for the last 6,000 years. And in fact, they was allowed to teach that and allowed to put the population to sleep, the population of the planet, especially the original people, to sleep while they exercised their full expression and desire of what they wanted the earth to be or wanted the world to be based on their own nature. So this is showing and proving and demonstrating that the God power that you believe in is in man and woman. It's in the human being, the God power to manipulate matter and travel and mentally travel, what they call out of body travel, OBE, out of body experiences, or soul travel or astral travel. This is the ability of gods. This is what the gods can do. But this man right here, the CIA got a hold of him and paid him and to look into this phenomenon because it had to do with national security, the nation of the great Satan, the nation of America or the great Babylon or modern day Egypt or Rome or Sodom and Gomorrah, this nation that captured us and did what they did to us for the last 400 something years. This is a military application. So this power and the knowledge of this power being revealed just got revealed to them, to this people, within the last since like the 1940s, 50s. I think they started their program maybe in the 60s. I'm not sure. I think they started their program or started their research in the 60s. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was teaching this in the 30s. So this phenomenon, along with the UFO phenomenon, was taught first by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in the Nation of Islam. They know this. All of the top military and powers that run and control the United States government has known about this teaching by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad since the 30s. But it wasn't until the 60s or whenever that they was allowed to demonstrate that it actually works, and it works for them. So the CIA put him in charge of that program, and he proved that when it comes to this ability, there's no such thing as keeping a secret. You cannot keep no secret from anybody that has this ability called remote viewing, or who Elijah Muhammad said the ability to tune up on you, or, read your thoughts, read your mind, read your location, read your actions, read your intentions, what you plan on doing. So what he was able to do is very limited. But what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that the gods and the angels and even Jesus 2,000 years ago had the ability to do was way deeper and way more extensive than what they doing. They just been allowed to practice and demonstrate it and experiment with it since maybe the 60s. So this whole psychic spy program is called the psychic spy program, psychic. So I want y'all to watch this full interview and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But the reason why I'm over here telling y'all about it is because this is proof that God is man. The powers of God is in man and woman. Man and woman is God. So when we're functioning with our powers and back accessing our natural powers, that's what they call powers of God, right? And the only difference between a God, an angel, a prophet, a messenger, or just a believer is just grade levels of knowledge and understanding and mastery of that knowledge. So if I know how, quantum mechanics works and I know how my thought interacts with matter or with the force, then I might be considered a witch or a warlock or a voodoo, you know what I'm saying? Or a magician, like I'm doing magic or whatever, I'm something like that. But it's just a knowledge. I just know how my mind works more than you know how your mind works. I know how my mind works and your mind works more than you know how your mind works. So if I'm exercising that ability, and I'm experimenting and demonstrating, and I'm focused and committed to that labor course or that study or that, then yes, I can rule you. You can keep no secret from me. We can keep no secret from the angels. We can keep no secret from the God or the gods, plural, because there are gods. God is just a grade level. That's just a grade level. But when we say Allah or the supreme Allah, that means that's the God of gods. That's the one that most people is talking about when they say God or Allah. None is like him. No, we're like him, but we're not like him in terms of being equal with his power, his knowledge, wisdom, his understanding, force, and power, mastery. So the supreme Allah, the God of gods, the Allah of Allahs, the King of kings, the Lord of lords, is who we really refer to. And people still get that mixed up because they think that that's referring to the originator, the very first one of us. And that's not true. The very first one of us multiplied himself, and now we are the multiplications of the very first one of us. We are the reproductions of the very first one of us. That very first one of us, his body don't exist no more. We are his bodies. We are his reproductions. So most of us in religious world, Christianity, Islam, the Orthodox Islam, Orthodox Christianity, and Judaism, their concept of God is wrong. Their concept of Allah is wrong. God constantly says that he's a we, a us, a our, a plural, but together we are one. Allah is one, but he's a unity that comes together as one. But the human being is those pieces, are those cells, are those parts. The human being together are the one God, but there is still ranks in a body. The head or the brain cells still rule the body. The body is still considered Cam, but my head rules the body. It rules the pinky, the finger, it rules my toes, my ankles, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So that's the same process with Allah, with God. But we were never taught that because the devils and the Satans have been allowed to rule and deceive us for 6,000 years. So the real secret of the mystery of who and what God is has been just revealed recently, like the Bible say in Revelations 10:7. In that day, when the voice of the seventh angel, which is Farrakhan, shall begin to sound, not when he finished, but even when he begins to sound, then the mystery of God should be finished, as he has declared to his prophets and the saints. The mystery of God was to be revealed at some point, and it has been revealed. And I'm telling you that the mystery of God is you. God is in you, and you are a God. Ye are all gods. You are gods. We are not the top brain cell, you know what I'm saying? But we still have that holographic ability and capacity to grow into exactly what the top head God power is. And that's his desire, to grow us up into where and what he is. That's the desire of you. You want to grow your children up to be equal and greater than you, right? That's your father. That's our father. He loves us more and better and greater and stronger than our own biological mama. Nobody could love us better than he who we are the reproductions of, who reproduced us. We are the love of God. We are the glory of God. We are the beloved reproductions of the originator God. Who taught you that you was trash? Who taught you that you was something else? That the flesh was weak and original sin and man is just sinners and you can't never be perfect? Who taught you that? Who taught you that poison? Who taught us that poison? Was it the people that brought us here? Was it the people that contaminated the air, the land, the water, the animals, the food? Who taught you that you can't never be perfect and we ain't no gods and nothing like that? But they steady in secret doing exactly what they teaching us that we ain't. They developing their God powers and they're recessive. They're the Johnny come lately recessive. And like I said, you know, on a live that I just did earlier, they number one psychic spy was a man named Ingo Swann, and Ingo Swann was of the rainbow community, and he was a European. So you didn't have to be righteous by nature or righteous by activity to be able to tap into this God power that every human being has. So I just wanted to again reinforce that God is in you and that you are a God. You can be a God of wickedness. You can be a God of righteousness, but you are a God. You are a creator. Just because you don't know that you're creating reality don't mean you're not creating reality. Just because you don't know it or don't believe it don't mean it ain't happening. There are laws, that we can't break, right? But you are creating. The fact that a human being, you can think about something and envision it. You can think about the past and relive it or envision it. You can think about the past and start crying. You can think about your mother or your father or your son or your daughter or your spouse, your brother, your sister that passed away, and remember them and recall them and relive them and hear them and see them. And it will affect your chemical balance of your body right now. You can see something. You can see a picture of a woman, if you're a dude, a fine picture of a sexy looking woman, and your brain is going to move hormones and move blood and send blood down to your private part and make it get stiff. Your mind is doing that. You ain't touched nothing, and nothing ain't touched you. You just thought about it, and your mind started moving blood around and moving hormones and whatnot. That's the power that the God has just by thinking or willing or envisioning something. You move matter just by envisioning something. So these people knew this, but it wasn't until the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, laid it out and the government arrested him and seized his schematics and seized his writings or whatever and kept them. Right now they're in the FBI and CIA. They never gave them back to him or to the NOI, but you know, he already knew it. He was teaching us. But then they became better students and greater, more strict disciple students of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's teachings than we did. They set up R&D, research and development facilities to experiment, to study the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's science and teachings about the power of God and UFOs and all this life on other planets more than we did. And then after that, Master Fard Muhammad sent them down some wheels, some so-called UFOs in Roswell, New Mexico, and other places. He sent them to other countries, to other white nations like Russia and Europe and all. He sent them all to all of that race. And they began a race called the space race, or the reverse engineering race. It was racing against each other to see who could reverse engineer certain aspects of Master Fard Muhammad's technology the fastest, so that they can try to take over each other in this last final Armageddon. You know what I'm saying? Satan casting out Satan. They know they can't see us, but their job is to try to deceive us and make, trick us into going down and out with them, or trick us into getting violent with each other, ninjas against ninjas for stupid emotional reasons, ignorant reasons, or for paper or whatever. We get at each other for paper. The love of money for us is the root of our evil. But I just want y'all to watch this, because it's like 2.5 hours. I just started watching it. I only got to like 30 minutes, 35 minutes. So once I get off of here, I'm gonna watch the rest of it. But he gets into detail about how these is just normal people, like the people that has this ability. He just verifying what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us. He taught us way back in the 60s or the 70s that right now, like 1 out of every 100 people on the planet of our people has this ability, like that they have already starting to regain that ability to tune. But, they're going to take it for national security, military reasons, to do whatever mischief or hold on to whatever, power that they've been able to exercise. But now, once the ability to keep secrets has been eliminated, imagine what's going to happen. Imagine how they scrambling, and they got to have extra distractions. They got to hit the people of God, the black people of descendants of slaves, with extra distractions now, because not only has Farrakhan, lifted the cover off of them and exposed them for who they are, and verified that certain secrets that he was given by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad exposed their agenda and their plans, and that's what has been guiding him and the Nation of Islam since 1985. They knew that. He got that direct instructions and guidance and revelations from Elijah Muhammad, alive and well on this big mothership UFO that everybody clowned us about. That is crazy. But now all of them is coming out, bearing witness, but just not giving the credit to who it's supposed to be given to, because that's part of their satanic agenda. They still have to keep certain secrets as members of secret society of Satan's and devils, secret society, that they have to maintain the secrets upon pain and deletion. So they can never reveal the secrets until or unless they decide to side with the Messiah and go against their own big brothers, their own big former Satan, and then that would put them on the chopping block for their people. They become targets of enforcing of the law because they reveal secrets to their people. But now they in a valley of decision. You got to choose which camp do you want to be, hunting you. Do you want the righteous God to hunt you with his sword because you didn't want to reveal the secrets when he told you it's time to reveal the secrets? Or do you want your own satanic, powers that be brothers to be, pulling out their sword on you because you did obey the righteous God when he said it's time to reveal the secrets, and now your satanic brother wants wants to Hassan chop you. You know what I mean? So either way, they're in the valley of decision and they're at war with each other because of this reason. There's high level Mason, Freemason, or what they call Muslim Shriners that study from 35 to 50 years Islam in secret and in private. And at a certain time, they're supposed to help the Messiah. They are supposed to do what we're talking about right now, which would automatically bring them in direct conflict and war with their satanic brothers that want to hold on to power for wickedness reasons. So that's what this is all about. This is why they'll never say who the UFOs are really built by and what they are. And they can always use code language like aliens and ETs and ancient this and non-human intelligence and all that. That's all a lie. That's all code language for the original black man, the Master Fard Muhammad, Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and their angels. They're black angels from this planet, not just black people, it's brown, red, and yellow people. So this is the secret that they keep, and this is why he's even coming out on the biggest podcast on earth, which is Joe Rogan, saying what he's saying. This is no coincidence. This is because they're being exposed and revealed by the Messiah and now by the general public and by white people in general, the masses of white people. So this is why he's coming out with this right here. And I want y'all to watch it. I want y'all to verify it. I want y'all to talk about it and share it. And of course, share this, hit the like button, subscribe. This is just something beautiful that we get to be a part of because it's in our favor. But he says normal people, just normal people. They ain't got no special super brain function, and they didn't got struck by lightning when they was little and this and that. Like, no, everybody has this ability, but we've been fed poison and lies most of our life. And that's why we ain't been able to access it. There ain't been no classrooms to teach you how to tune in and you know, crack anybody's secrets. Just imagine, why would a satanic people in a satanic world system and government teach the population that they've been trying to enslave by keeping them ignorant, teach you that you have the ability to see anybody's secrets, to read anybody's mind? Why would they teach you that? That God knows that, and God is going to teach you that and tell you that at the end of the world, which is what we're doing right now. They're not going to teach you that you have the ability to tune up on them and read their thoughts and see where they at and see what their plans are. Yeah, that's why we had to be put to sleep for 6,000 years, because we would already knew that. The gods had to agree to put us to sleep and let them do that. They would never have been able to rule the world and get to where they at if we wasn't asleep, intentionally put to sleep mentally. Our mental God powers of sight and vision and all that, we had to be put to sleep. That's why the Bible says resurrection. The resurrection is not physical people coming out the dirt, the ground, the cemetery. It's the resurrection of the people of God back into their God powers while they live, to where you can't fool them no more. You can't lie to them and be successful, because we'll just look into your mind and see that you're lying. We can see what you're really doing. And they know this now. And if y'all watch this, y'all gonna see that this is what this means. But they have a governor on their ability, because their motives is not right, and their genetic material is not original, is not righteous by nature. It's not original. So they have a governor. So anybody that knows what a governor means, it means a limit. They're not allowed to go past a certain speed or a certain power. And the lessons by Master Fard Muhammad puts it a different kind of way. It says that they have 6 ounces of grafted brain. 6 ounces, limited, grafted, non-original brain. But the original people have 7.5 ounces of original, righteous, holy brain, because the power of God is your brain. The king dome, what's in this dome is the God. The kingdom of God in heaven is within you. So depending on the quality and potency of your brain, that determines the potency and the power potential of your God ability. While you live in the flesh and in the blood, God is the human being. Don't let nobody deceive you. Let nobody trick you or make you feel scared or whatever, that God is not a human being. God is not the human being. The supreme most high God is the black human being. The indigenous black human being, black and indigenous. They taught you to spook, space ghosts, religious mystery, spirits, God stuff. They taught you that. They are the ones who hijacked Orthodox Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. The original black indigenous theology didn't teach that. No, we taught we used to teach the divinity of God, of the human being. The divinity of the human being, the God power and potential. That's why the pyramids and all of that is there. All of the science that we had verifies the power and the ability of the human mind and the human soul, the human will, the human intelligence, the supreme being. We are the supreme being. They are not. They rely on making machines and AIs and devices and contraptions to try to equal up with what we are naturally. So that's what a psychic spy is. Why do you need to use even need to use the word spy? Righteous people didn't worry about spying. Righteous people didn't have no desire to spy on nobody else. Only a thief or a devil wants to spy. Why is your program called the Psychic Spy Program? Because you got your own satanic nature that's loves war and loves, stealing something that you didn't have the knowledge or power to create. So I have to steal it. I have to covet it. I have to take it. That's spy business. Spy means, unrighteousness. Muslims don't spy unless we're spying on the unrighteous, and we spy on Satans and devils because Satan and devils try to spy on us. But I'm letting y'all know that this whole thing is for you to rejoice and watch this. Take what certain things that he's going to be saying with a grain of salt, because I'm sure he's going to get into calling stuff aliens and saying this and that. He's going to mix truth with falsehood because he can't reveal certain secrets because he's sworn, an oath of his secret fraternal society is Skull and Bones or Muslim Shriner or Freemasonry oath, that he can't reveal certain secrets. The secret that the original black nation is the gods, and that the opposite is the opposite of that. So he can't say that. So don't rely on him or expect him to say that. Listen to it for what you can listen to it for. Listen to it to listen to what they're experimenting and what they're accomplishing as the recessive people. If the recessive people are actually have been successful using their recessive material and they 6 ounces of recessive brain, imagine what you're supposed to be able to do right now. And this is what you're supposed to be inspired to start practicing doing. Don't waste your life. Don't die without tapping into at least demonstrating or experimenting with your God powers. Don't waste your life no more. You hearing this, don't waste your life. Not saying you got to be holy or nothing, but try this. Listen to this and start experimenting and trying to exercise these kind of powers. If you use them for wickedness, then you're going to be destroyed like they're going to be destroyed. I'm not saying use them for wickedness to try to find the lottery numbers or, try to crack somebody's safe combination. No, that's not going to work. That's not going to work in the long run, because it might work temporarily. It might work for you locally, but the fact that your motivation is foul is not going to work. You're going to curse yourself, and you're going to curse anybody that you love. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. But it's definitely allowed for you to use against your enemy, against a wicked enemy. It's for that. It's for you to be able to tune in on your wicked enemy. If people that's the people that destroyed us and enslaved us, it's definitely for that, or for the minions that work for them, the ninja minions that work for them. Anybody that's foul, that power of God, the natural laws of God gives us all 100% green light permission to use these powers against wicked people or wickedness. And that's what we're going to use them for. So I wanted to just give y'all that, and share that, because I ain't watched the full thing yet either. So I'm giving y'all this while I'm getting it myself, letting you know where my brain is and my mind is. Because as soon as I get it, I want to share it with y'all. Y'all probably watched it before me already, but I want you to know this is where I'm at with it. And that how they're hijacking your power and your identity. Once again, they're lying about you and your identity. Once again, making you focus and shift your attention somewhere else when they all are talking about you. All of this is your power. All of this is talking about you. Psychic spies. No, they can hide no secret from the God, the human being, flesh and blood, black gods and angels and prophets, because a prophet, is third down on the rank of grade level, but the prophet was still able to have that gift to see the same thing and prophesy and write it down for all of us to benefit from it. Pop Trey, thank you, Big Pop Trey, for super chat. Absolutely. Just sharing. I don't even know if I'm teaching, because this is something y'all already know. This is something that y'all already know in y'all chest, in this brain, the heart brain, and in the head brain. This is something that y'all already knew since you was a baby, since you could remember. You knew that there was more to life than this. You knew when you was a little child that if I concentrate on something real hard, I can make this happen, or I can move this, or I can do that. You was right the whole time. You was right. You was fresh out of the womb world of where it was just Allah and you, God and you in your mother's womb, and fresh out of that, you was close. That was our closest to that knowledge, or that instinct, to that intelligence that was true. But as we take more and more breaths and get fed and Fauci juiced we get Fauci juiced as soon as we born. Oh no, we gonna send something straight to that pineal gland and calcify that mug. No, we gonna send some whatever. I can't say the word I want to say. Soon as you born, they gonna snatch you up. Or if we foolish enough today to let them snatch your baby up and start sticking needles in them, start pumping stuff in them, as though that's what they need. This is protecting them from this and from that. How the hell did we live and last the last 470 years in slavery? We didn't have that. And we didn't have all these diseases that we dying from at an early age today either. So they know about the power of this, what I'm talking about. And they know, like it said in the Bible, with Herod or with Moses, they know to try to get to them, wipe them out, all of them 2 years and younger. 2 years and younger. What they saying with Fauci and all of that, and what Bobby Kennedy Jr. had to come and try to disrupt this schedule that they talking about now. That your child gotta have 70 Fauci juices by the time they reach 2 years old. What are they trying to do? What is Bill Gates and his program and Henry Kissinger and their program have to do with making sure when you won't even get out the labor and delivery room with your child before they didn't pump them up with Lord knows what? What are they trying to avoid? What are they trying to prevent from happening? What are they trying to prevent from happening? The psychic ability, the natural God ability to read minds and out of body travel and to see people's wicked plans and thoughts. They don't want us to be able to see into their secrets. That's why they don't want us to be able to see into their secrets. But all it takes is one of us to be able to see into their secrets and then have the influence to be able to get to the rest of us and tell their secrets and then prove that what you told was accurate. That's what Minister Farrakhan has done ever since 1985. That's why he's the Messiah. That's why he's the grace. He's the man of God. He's the watchman. He already did it. He already fully revealed their secrets, pulled the cover all the way off of them. And that's why you see their little minions have to get activated to try to come against us, to smear us, to lie on us, slander us, and try to inspire people to do harm physically to members of the nation, or to, of course, to Minister Farrakhan, but of course the children of Farrakhan, right? And that's not going to be successful, but our job is just to put it out there and let the system, let the God system absorb the nutrients and the vitamins that we putting out there. And that's what this is. Every time I see stuff like this, I can't wait to share it with y'all. I can't wait to show you that they secretly talking about your power and your God ability and your God identity in flesh and in blood. They are showing you and proving you that God is not a spook, spirit, mystery, formless ghost. God is you. God is in you, and you are God, male and female. Male and female. So I'm going to get off of here, man. If y'all don't mind, like, subscribe, share. You know what I'm saying? If y'all appreciate this, feel free to put some on the Cash App, hit the Cash App, because that's who supports me, because they definitely don't. The media don't, you know what I'm saying? My industry peers, you know what I'm saying, that's making millions and hundreds of millions and even billionaires. Oh, they want no part of this. They want no part of being seen, helping or supporting Brother Cam, and nothing that I'm talking about. They're going to want the benefits of when they see that God, empowers us with certain things that you're going to have to bow. The enemies and ops and gatekeepers are going to be made our footstools. And then, their very soul, life and death is going to be given, the keys to that is going to be given to us. It's already given to some of us. Some of us already got the keys to their soul and to their, such and such. But in the meantime, those that's wise, we go on record helping the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? When it's not popular, when it's hot, when it's dangerous, when it's, controversial. I ain't, by Allah's permission, I ain't never switched up. I never abandoned my Lord. I never abandoned Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Master Fard Muhammad, or my Messiah, my Lord and Savior, my personal Lord and Savior, Farrakhan. Never have and never will, by Allah's permission. So we the poor righteous teachers. We do it when it's not no bag involved. It's not no celebrity. It's not no big views and clicks and numbers. People be steady telling me that, are you doing this for clicks and views? This is internet. Like, yeah, I'm absolutely doing it for clicks and views. What do you think I'm doing it for? I'm not getting paid though, but I'm definitely doing it for clicks and views. What the hell you think? What is anybody propagating or education or curriculum or a preaching or whatever for? It's 1,000% for clicks and views. 1,000% to build up a following. 1,000%. Allah bless me to have a following outside of the mosque following also, right? That's how people come into the mosque. I didn't used to be in the mosque. Somebody may help bring me in the mosque and help solidify me being a follower, official follower. But the majority of the people, the real soldiers and riders or whatever, is not in the mosque, and they probably never will be in the mosque. It's not necessary. They're not restricted to that, and they're not restricted to the politics, the hypocrisy, or whatever germs might be in the mosque. You know, not saying that, you know, that's not the highest and the best levels or whatever grade levels to be, but God don't put all his warriors and angels and soldiers in one place. And I would dare say, well, anyway, so y'all don't have to worry about all these restrictions and conditions and excuses. You got to have, just watch this. Just watch this and just tune in with your brother. Cause yeah, I do want to be a social media person or whatever you would call it. But I only want to be a social media person on these subjects. I don't want to talk about smut and Rico acts and beefing and all. I don't want to talk about that. This is all I want to talk about. Right? Is that bad that I want to talk about the provable reality of God powers being in you and me? Is that bad? Is that shirk, or is that blasphemy to you? Is that something that my soul should be damned forever because it's going against your 2,000 year or 1,400 year religious mind effing? All right, well, every human being has to die anyway. I'm gonna die anyway, right? So I may as well die for something beautiful, something profoundly beautiful like that. So it's nothing to me. So I didn't mean to go this long, but I'm gonna finish watching this right here, and I want y'all to watch it too. If y'all ain't got nothing to do, Joe Rogan is real entertaining, but you know, those is two white folks. You know what I'm saying? No diss or nothing like that, but you know, their nature is what their nature is. I don't know, their agendas is what their agendas is. It's not necessarily my nature and my agenda, but it's nothing wrong with watching it and extracting what's really being said. I already gave you the template. I already gave you the decoding, the Batman decoder ring of how to decode what they really saying, and watch it for yourself, because I'm about to finish watching it right now. Like, subscribe, hit the like button, subscribe, share this, and you know, God willing, I'll be back later on and share again what I thought and what I saw. And I want y'all to share what y'all might have got out of it. All right. Peace and blessings. Campaign show daytime. I'm out.